What the?
All right, welcome back, y'all. Today we have a very interesting pair of cowboy boots. As you can see, these things are just completely destroyed.
Totally destroyed.
And we're gonna give it the old college try. I mean, can't make them any worse.
So I don't really know what this gentleman was doing. I think it's maybe he was on like the back of a truck or car and
Skiing.
pulling him like skis.
Skiing down the road.
That's how, I don't know. I think that's the only way you can possibly get it like this.
Yeah.
Maybe. But anyways, I mean, as you can see, man, the welt is completely worn off. The heel pads completely gone.
It's all the way through the insole, all the way through the liners.
Heel block is worn down a good 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, insole's worn out.
It's gonna be the works, y'all. Let's do it. All right, so obviously you can see this thing, every layer down this way, practically almost to the sole on the heel. They're just everything's gotta be replaced. We gotta take this whole upper off the insole, rebuild an insole. It's gonna take the full works. So let's, as usual, let's start back here. Leather board. Yeah, so we're gonna have to clean this, and when we clean it, it'll actually moisten up the upper enough that we can actually get it back into shape, because you can see it's hard. It's just like kind of, you know, when leather gets wet and then it dries, it can get really hard and then stay in that shape, mold. So we've got to get it back down to its original place.
Like Heath said, these boots, you can see just how much these boots, it looks like, have been wet. And the gentleman that owned these probably didn't put shoe trees or anything in them, and you can see how much that leather has stayed in that spot. So in order to get these creases out, we're gonna have to clean these and get these completely wet and just try to pull that leather back before we put the insoles in. I think these are a suede leather. It definitely has some nap on the back side. They're really dirty, so I'm not 110% sure, but I think this is definitely a suede, and just to be on the safe side, we're going to use suede shampoo to get these cleaned up.
Okay, so here's the old insole, and you might notice something a little bit different. This one doesn't have a canvas rib going around. It's actually solid leather, and you see this in a lot in hand-welded cowboy boots, this style, where this is just the leather that's been split to create a little cavity down here, and then the stitches just come out the side of the leather insole. So that's the way that we're going to recreate this, just using a chunk of veg tan leather. All right, so we're almost done putting this welt on, but as you can see, there's not really a cavity here. Where like a canvas rib creates a really deep cavity for cork. A lot of these traditional cowboy boots do not have cork. That's just like a piece of leather, and some of them just literally sit on this. But this one didn't have cork, and this is why we're just doing it the traditional way. All right, so the other shank was getting pretty rusty, and so we went ahead and replaced the shank, and the leather cover was kind of deteriorating and snapping in half, so we put a little piece of veg tan over that. But we'll put it back the way it was, the original way.
All right, ladies and gents, so we are done with this pair of Anderson Bean cowboy boots. But before we show you the finished product, just a quick reminder, if you're not following us on our Instagram account, definitely go do that. We'd really appreciate it. We'll put the link down below. We post a lot more of our daily shoe repairs and boot repairs and the before and after pics on there, so definitely check us out.
Special shout out and thanks to Tristan from Virginia for sending these boots to us. You gave us quite the challenge. It was fun.
And we were just playing around at the beginning. It was all in good fun, even though I still think you were probably skiing in them.
Oh yeah. So as you can see, it went all the way through. So we had to replace the insoles. We didn't do a ribbed version because that's not the way the boots were originally done. They were made with the original cowboy boot carved insoles, and so we put them back the way they originally were and put some JR soles. The heel blocks were a leather board, so we replaced those with real leather and re-welted them. Pretty straightforward, believe it or not. It was just that insole that was, really the issue that we had to get creative with. But I think they turned out pretty good.
Yeah, and as far as the uppers go, we didn't spend a lot of time on the uppers. They were in really, I wouldn't say rough shape, they were in good shape, but you can tell the owner had warned them they'd probably gotten wet a lot, and shoe trees or boot trees had not been put in there, because as you can see from the beginning shots, they were really wrinkled up, and that leather had dried and was so hard that it was almost impossible to get those wrinkles completely out.
So you use your shoe trees?
Yeah. But we wet them down really well, stretched them back out as much as possible, and hopefully they are good to go. But Tristan, man, like Keith said, boot trees. After every wear, boot trees. Okay, y'all, we really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed this. Definitely check us out at potterandsons.com. And again, follow us on Instagram at potterandsons. Thanks again, y'all, and y'all have a good one.